Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, Pak Rabbani. So today in this video, we will gonna present our first assignment of urban design principles. The assignment to analyze the aspect that determining the quality of urban design of Darmo Street. So, so first of all, before we start our presentation, let us introduce our group member. So my name is Nurul Safira Hidayah from with the last number of NRP 010.
My name is Nara Triana Nashita with the last student number 053.
My name is Yasmin Damayanti Fernandi, student number 68.
Yes. My name is Kailana Aisyareta Sahab, student number 070.
And my name is Aziza Nurmaya Nugraha, NRP 092.
So in this presentation, we will gonna talk about aspect that determining the quality of medicine, which is the places where people make connection and its existing, design for change, work with concept, and mixes use and form. The first aspect would be explained by Aziza.
So the first aspect is place for people. Place for people is to create an environment where everyone can access and take advantage of all the opportunities available to members of the society. The first is crossing movement. Darmo Street is a two-lane road, so there is naturally some crossing movement. Pedestrian can cross at the point that I give a blue color. They can cross using a crosswalks or overpass. As the crosswalks themselves, not all of them are equipped with pedestrian control traffic lights. They are only available at the end of the street near Bintaro Street and at the intersection near of Graha Wismila. Second is transit activity that waiting for a off or letting passengers on or off from the bus or other vehicle. Its route has bus stop with the same function but different facilities. The first stop is located in front of deretan ruko that has only bench and a sign. Yang satunya lagi ada di in front of the school that have a shelter and bus road board. The stop in front of the school is kemungkinan akan crowded in beberapa jam tertentu. Contohnya saat jam pulang sekolah atau jam pulang kantor. And the last is pedestrian activity. For pedestrian activity, people can walk or on path that available sepanjang jalur Darmo Street. There is a bicycle lane that people can cycling or jogging in that line. But in a rush hour, cycle lane kemungkinan itu dipakai oleh mobil atau motor karena ramainya jalan tersebut. The path also not really good way, cause in beberapa poin ada broken tile that can make pedestrian hard to walk. Next aspect.
Okay, for the next aspect is make connection. So this analysis explores how some elements of the streetscape shape the way people navigate and also experience the urban environment. So the first one, because we analyzing in Graha Wismilak. So from the facade itself, it is facing to the corner, not to the front or the side that beside the street, but facing to the corner. So it resulting in welcoming and connecting with surrounding environment. And then we analyze also the pedestrian experience through the first one, the pattern tiles. So it is using unique colorful shape to enhance the aesthetic aspect. Um, so it gives like a sense of identity to the pedestrian way. And then for the safety, it is using bollard. So it is placed in the pedestrian walks to be a silent barrier. So it is protecting pedestrians and the infrastructure from vehicle impacts. And then also we are observing the rounded shape in the corner of pedestrian walk. Um, it is built like this because it makes people easier to connect to the other side of the street. And then we also observe the broken or cracked tiles. Um, it due to the roof growth, the tiles lose the strength. So there are some trees that planted through the along the pedestrian walk in the front of Graha Wismilak, and then some of them are in a in a broken condition due to the growth of the trees. So sometimes it's disturbing the comfortability and the aesthetic of the pedestrian walk. Sit, let's go to the next aspect.
So the next aspect was design for change, which where we analyzes the design of street furniture. Uh, it's categorized into two. The first one is unique and the other was regular. How we analyzes it, the unique one using the pink bubble and the blue bubble is the regular one. So the unique one, there is mainly many street furniture which is unique in the street. For example, the flyover. The flyover has a fairly unique design. It's using simple geometric shapes, and there is a clock in the middle of the flyover. And then the strip lamp located which close to Wismilak is it's tall and it's located in the middle of the street. And then it was accompanied with a little lamps like LED lamps so that it stand out. The design though is actually using like 19th century lamp design, so it's iconic and it's unique. The next one is there is a street decoration which has a shape of a ball, so that it can be used as a seat for people that went through that street. And then there is two type of street lamp. Though the first one is the street lamp using an antique design like in 19th century, and the other two one is the regular street lamp. It was commonly used in other city as well with the same design. So, and the next is the regular street furniture. Uh, it mainly consists of like bollard, trash can, and standard power pole, and standard traffic lamp, and standard signage or something like that. In the unique one though, there is a bus stop too. There's two bus stop. So the first bus stop is in front of the Santa Maria High School, which mainly consisted with green and red color and have the ads from G Connect. So it's pretty unique because it has the the color. It's like vibrant, and the other one, the other bus stop has this, which makes it unique. The bench. The bench is using like an antique design in 19th century. Then move on to the next aspect.
So the next aspect is enriched existing. In here, I will provide two notable landmarks in Darmo corridor that gives it a lot of character. The first one is Graha Wismila. Uh, so basically, it is used as a pabrik gula, kantor pabrik gula right now. And the concept of Graha Wismila in this aspect is that it has adaptive reuse and preservation for the continuity. It preserves the actual original colonial structure while integrating a 29 extension that respects the existing building. So actually the building in here, the original one is just the small one here. And then the big one here is just an extension for the police office. But however, it uses the same kind of design with the original one to respect it. So this is the history of it. It started off as a Dutch clothing store in which people buy things from it, and it evolved from commercial, and then it was used as a police office by the Dutch and also by the Indonesian police. So there's this adaptive reuse going on. And then the next one the next one is Santa Maria. It is a school, a Christian school. It's also similar to Wismilak, but the difference is when Wismilak adapt, Santa Maria have a continuity. It is continuously used as an uh, educational building. So the origin of Santa Maria School is that the Fat Ursulinus sister came in and created a new school in uh, Darmo, and then it was used temporarily as a military base. However, it's still used for pelajar. Jadi masih ke consider sekolah. It was also BKRTKR headquarters. After that, it was used for the school. And the building is preserved as one of Darmo's cultural heritage buildings. So both buildings actually enrich the existing urban fabric by preserving their identity while integrating new functions, maintaining continuity and relevance. While Darmo mereka mengubah beberapa aspek, kayak penggunaannya diubah. Santa Maria penggunaannya sama, tetapi keduanya tetap memiliki identity yang menjadi identitas Jalan Darmo. And then continue to the next aspect.
So the last two aspects that we're gonna explain is mixed use and form and work with the landscape. So I want to explain about the mixed use and form first. We can see there is a color coded ada penanda warna di sini, di mana di sini menjelaskan tentang the function or we can see the typology of the building in this area. So Darmo is actually mainly consists of perumahan. Jadi dulunya area ini adalah area perumahan yang sekarang menjadi mainly commercial building area. So there is almost in every blocks is a commercial building and there is some other typology like mixed use residential. So mixed use residential is a type of building that yang awalnya mereka perumahan, tapi mereka itu kadang juga dirubah menjadi tempat-tempat lain seperti untuk komersial atau untuk kantor-kantor kecil. And there is also offices yang bisa kita lihat sebelumnya yaitu Geraha Wismilak, itu adalah salah satu contoh office. Lalu selanjutnya yang paling terlihat besar di sini, yang di mana formnya dari building itu paling besar adalah sekolah Santa Maria sendiri, di mana dia cukup mengambil area yang sangat luas di area koridor jalan ini, dan dia juga cukup ikonik di sana, di mana beberapa bangunan di sini tuh punya form yang masih mengadaptasi bentuk-bentuk dari mungkin masa postkolonial seperti itu. Namun untuk di area seperti Komplek Darmo Square, di mana itu adalah area komersial, bentuk-bentuk bangunan ini mulai berubah. They adapt to the modern design like seperti bentuk-bentuk typology office pada umumnya. Namun beberapa juga masih preserve elemen-elemen dari bangunan-bangunan lama. Namun juga kadang ada bangunan yang berbeda formnya seperti pada daerah housing seperti ini cukup formnya cukup berbeda dari yang form normal di sini dengan atap yang terbuat dari genteng dan berbentuk sedikit kerucut seperti itu. Itu adalah form yang normal di sini, sedangkan ini adalah salah satu bentuk form yang berbeda yang muncul di beberapa titik di Darmo. And for the next one is the work with landscape. So Darmo is a quite dense for landscaping the shade of tree. Jadi peneduh-peneduh di sini tuh cukup padat, cukup dense, dan itu membuat daerah ini cukup teduh dan mungkin kadang terasa agak gelap ya. Tapi dengan pepohonan-pepohonan yang banyak ini, landscape di sini tuh jadi terasa teduh dan tidak panas seperti daerah Surabaya yang biasanya. And for the vegetation, mainly there is angsana tree as the main shade tree, and there is also tabebuya or Hydrocanthus chrysanthius that became the Surabaya city identity, as we can saw it in some other places in Surabaya. And also there is a special feature around the Wismilak office that is a palm tree. Jadi palm tree ini dipakai di lanskap dari Wismilak itu sendiri, di sekitar bangunannya sendiri, dan juga itu juga diterapkan di pepohonan yang ada di median jalan. Jadi di sekitar median jalan ini banyak sekali pepohonan juga, karena itu membuat shade di sini terasa dense. Dan di depan Wismilak ini khususnya diberikan beberapa palm tree untuk mengikuti landscape dari bangunan Wismilak sendiri ini yang cukup ikonik juga di situ. And then we're talking about the median jalan. Jadi di tengah jalan ini tuh biasanya terkadang beberapa jalan itu tidak ada median jalan dan mungkin mereka langsung ada 2 jalur. Tapi di sini 2 jalur dari kendaraan ini dibatasi oleh median, dan median jalan ini perlu penutup ground cover layers dari berupa vegetasi. Dan di sini ada beberapa vegetasi yang dijadikan ground layers dan itu sangat banyak. Mainly seperti pepohonan teh-tehan atau mungkin pakis seperti yang bisa dilihat di sini, dan itu memberikan efek lanskap yang lebih tertata, dan itu bisa menutupi area-area tanah yang belum tertutup seperti itu. And that's the final aspect that we analysis. So the conclusion is, based on the observation, Darmo Street demonstrate the main aspects of urban design. There exists variety of public activities, mixed uses, urban environment created through the diverse function, and it also supports pedestrian with integration with vegetation. The presence of fairly good condition and pretty unique or standard street furniture, and how it enrich the existing by preserving historic buildings. And this is the job assignment and the reference. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you.